Hello, everybody. My name's Ed. This is another tag team point of view. Phil suggested that we do one non-comics related. It's kind of a more serious subject. The topic for this one is going to be, can President Barack Obama win a second term? I'm going to try hard to not get too partisan about it. I don't want to be all, oh, the Democrats are all messing everything up, or, oh, the Republicans are all messing everything up, or anything like that. I try to listen to different points of views and things like that, but sometimes it's a turnoff when people are just overly dogmatic and they're just strictly dogmatic and things. So, I'm going to try to stay away from that as best as I can. And I'm going to try to treat it seriously and, at the same time well, let's just jump into it. Basically, my opinion is it all depends. It depends on how people feel a year from now. If people feel a little bit better about the economy, if it looks like people are going back to work or that they're just not losing jobs or losing more hours, if people seem like they're staying in their homes and things, he may have a shot, If not, people might be, it's time to get this guy to boot. Another thing I was thinking about that, and the thing is, though the election is, more than a year away, and all sorts of things can happen. A lot can happen within a year when it comes to the world of politics, Another thing is people will probably weigh in how they feel about how well President Obama either did or did not live up to their expectations. And I think some people had, people probably have pretty fair expectations about, how he handled, foreign policy, what he did or did not do as far as fixing, the healthcare system, what he did or did not achieve as far as, greater transparency, and I think those are like legitimate things to question about. I think on the other hand, some people had just these crazy way out expectations, as if he was just going to come in and wave a magic wand and everything was going to be great, and he was just going to be the savior and all this type of thing. And like I said, depending on where you come down, what you thought he was going to do versus what he actually did or didn't do, is going to weigh into it. I was going to go into this whole other thing just because it's just been on my mind about, Barack Obama's standing with, I don't even want to say the black leadership. I'll say the black intelligentsia, and I'm not so much talking about people who are activists or social workers or the old civil rights guard, as much as I'm thinking of certain people in academia who may or may not have written a couple books and get on television every once in a while, who, I'm trying to say this in the right way, who in a way have made themselves the, self-appointed, gatekeepers of Black America or something like that. It's a weird thing to talk about, you know what I mean? Because some of those people actually do respect a lot for their, intellectualism and things like that. On the other hand, you don't get to say who is and is not and lay down all the rules for, black people in America, you know what I mean? You can have your symposiums and things, but, I know there's tons of black folks you'll never invite to those things, and I'm basically, I'll just come out and say it. I'm really referring to, the Tavis Smiley and Cornell West, and their issue with Barack Obama, and I'm going a little bit off topic, but just bear with me for a moment, and maybe I'm wrong. You tell me if you think I'm wrong. But my thing is this, first of all, I like both of those individuals. I appreciate their intellectualism. I like Tavis's radio show. I think a lot of youthful information and interesting topics come up on the show. On the other hand, just because you write a book, and get on TV doesn't mean, you get to be the gatekeeper and you get to have the final say so. You know what I mean? I think it's good that they challenge the president. I think it's good that they question what he has done. I think it's legitimate when you say, okay, sure, he has all this power, allegedly, what is he doing to really tackle the problems of poverty in America? What's he really doing, or what's his plan to help the poor? I think that's a legitimate thing to ask of any president, whether they're black, white, rich, poor, man, woman, whatever. On the other hand, you hurt your argument when your whole thing is he didn't come to my show, or I did a fundraiser for him and his office isn't returning my phone calls. Then it's about you feel dissed, okay? It's not about the president has let us down or he's not doing a good job. It's you felt dissed because you couldn't go to the inauguration party. You know what I mean? I don't know, and that's slightly irksome to me. You know what I mean? It's great that you can have a big thing and have Dick Gregory up there, and sometimes Al Jorgensen. I almost said, though it would be funny if Al Jorgensen did go to the next, State of Black America symposium or whatever they call him, and but anyway, Al Sharpton is what I meant to say. Sometimes I'll have those individuals. I'll have Farrakhan, even though it's, now that he's supposedly metal out. But, you're not going to see all kinds of other black folks up there. They won't have, say, too many. They had Richard Steele up there a couple of years ago, but they're not going to have too many black Republicans up there. They're not going to have, somebody like my cousin's husband, a dude who's trying to get a job, but because he did his running around back when he was younger, and had to pay his debt to society, he's got 2 felonies on his record, They're not going to have some brother like that up there. They're not going to have, I don't know, a black lesbian who's trying to raise a child, with with her mate or whatever, who has to deal with these same sort of economic problems and on top of that being rejected by, say, maybe their family or something like that, or marginalized within, the community, there's not so much, on these things where we talk about things of, homophobia and, sexism that's, part of the community as well. I mean, those issues may come up on Tavis's show every once in a while, but they're not going to bring those statistics out there when they are sitting around wondering, which Democrat should we endorse, you know what I mean? And that's a shame. And I know it shouldn't be, if we're talking about the president, it shouldn't be, just a black thing or a white thing or whatever. But because people want to make it that way, then it becomes that sort of thing. And then it becomes something that everybody else has to deal with as well, or ignore or not deal with as it goes. So I guess that's it. I don't want to ramble too long about it. This was kind of a tough subject for me because, like I said, I have various opinions on it that go back and forth and so on and so forth. So anyway, check out Phil's video. Tell me what you think. Like I said, I try to keep it, not about the right wing, not too much about the left wing. I guess I probably did bring in the race issue into it, but I like to think it's not a thing of, well, the white people do this and the black people do that type of thing. I'm just trying to, figure out how this works in this little topic here or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, tell me if you think I messed up this video. Tell me if you think you agree. Share your ideas. Let's all keep it civil. Thanks, and you have a great day.